Hi, my name is Pembe, and I work in the international office here at the University of Kyrenia. Thank you all for joining me today for another episode of our social media talk segment. We first started this on our Instagram platform at Kyrenia Uni, and we have now expanded to Facebook as well. Basically, on this segment, we'll be asking some questions to our guests to inform our prospective students a little bit more about the University of Kyrenia. Today, I will be accompanied by Dr. Sanaz Vatankhah to discuss the department Aviation Management. Let's just get her connected.
Hello, Pembe. Thank you for inviting me to discuss a bit of detail of what is going on in our department, aviation management. Thank you for the
Just bear
invitation.
with us for one moment. Hello, Dr. Sanaz, how are you today?
Hi, Pembe. I'm fine. Thank you for the invitation, by the way. Thank you for inviting me to the
Thank you.
discussion to promote our program, which is aviation management under Faculty of Aviation and Space Sciences. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today. So to start off, may we know a little bit more about you, your education background, where you're from, how you came to North Cyprus and to be part of the University of Kyrenia family?
Okay, actually, I have a long story to say if I would like to say, but I try to keep it short. I'm from Iran. I've been, all my life, I've been fascinated with aviation. When I was looking at the sky and I was just looking how airplanes are flying, I was like, oh my God, I'm fascinated with this. Anyway, but as a child, a very little girl, I didn't have any idea. So while I was finishing almost my high school, I noticed that I can possibly have the chance to start working as a flight attendant. So I was like, oh my God, it's a dream for me come true if I become a flight attendant. So while I
Yeah.
was trying to check for the university to enter the university, by mistake, maybe it was a street or I don't know, whatever type of the mistake, I chose hospitality. I thought that hospitality is going to be applied for aviation as well, but when I entered the university, I noticed that it's hospitality in the hotel sector. I enjoyed
Mhm.
studying those days my hospitality management. However, in 2006, I deemed to follow my dream, so I started to be a flight attendant after I had finished 2 years of hospitality management studies in Iran. So I became a flight attendant. I worked there almost for 4 years, and it was a brilliant time of my life being a flight attendant. I was working for the biggest private airline company in Iran, and I was really enjoying both the domestic and international flights when I was working as a flight attendant. Then I noticed that it's not enough for me just to fly and fly. I need more, so I started to finish my studies. So I finished my bachelor when I was still a flight attendant, and then I decided to continue academia because I enjoyed being a teacher. So I chose Eastern Mediterranean University in North Cyprus to study Master of Science in Tourism Management from in 2011. So I entered the university. I finished in 2013. It was again a brilliant time of my life. I really enjoyed being a tourism student. Of course, I was focused more on aviation and specifically airline industry. So my thesis was just about cabin crews, and I was working very close to my supervisor to develop better conceptual models, how to tap into dynamics of being a cabin crew and actually fly that in position. So I published 3 papers those days, and still it was not enough for me. So I get back to Iran and I continued my studies with PhD. So I finished in 2019 my PhD in business management, specializing in marketing management. Still, I was focusing on aviation industry. That's why my PhD thesis was also about aviation sector. This time I tried to tap into market dynamics in my country to see how preferences might be different in choosing an airline and how we can promote or develop a new business model specifically focused on Iranian market. So still since, as you see, since 2011, I can say that I've been more focused in academia, but developing ideas and more. I've been studying more in the relative area, which is aviation management. And then in 2019, I have, of course, when I was master student here, I had many friends. I have just my social network here. So my friends were pushing me to come and to join different conferences here or to try to secure a job here if possible. So while I was preparing a list of universities where I wanted to apply for. Of course, I was fascinated with aviation, and at the University of Kyrenia with its brilliant aviation management program was a best choice for me. So I just came here, I applied, and I was successful to get the job, to secure a job here. And I'm really enjoying being a part and being a member of this lovely family since September 2019. And now I'm here with you. So it was a long story, I guess, but I wanted to.
What a trip that was. But it's good to see that you did follow your passion for aviation, and
Yeah,
we are very happy that you are with us.
yes, I'm really passionate, really.
So, yeah, and about the department, aviation management, what are some opportunities and advantages of this department?
Okay, in terms of actually, you're asking about two issues, opportunities
Yes.
and advantages. Okay, sometimes we can see the advantages may offer the opportunities. So I'm talking about the advantages so that you may guess what will be the opportunities. The advantages here is that as far as I see, if I'm talking about aviation management program in general, not specifically what is going on in our department, in general, aviation management provides a door to a novel, let's say, world where not really, it's not very much crowded yet. So it may act for students who are going to pursue their academic career or even their industry career in future. It may act as a blue ocean for them where the competition is not so high there. There are not that much, very much, let's say, attracted interest still in there. So there are huge opportunities, and the advantages which we are offering in particular is that our program is based on, it's not only delivering courses which are necessary for a student who is graduating from this such a program, but also it is based on the insights coming from the real industry. In other words, if I would like to clarify this issue, is that people who are working in our department, they're all experts, industry experts. They have a clear vision of what has been going on in this industry for many years. And I strongly believe that this insight would help to develop the program better and to, of course, being an expert in the industry, to have managed the reality of what is going on in the industry is going to affect the quality of education as well. So in our department, all these are coming together. So being a novel type of education, the courses are offered by not only, let's say, academicians, but also industry experts. So students, they can ask as many as questions they would like. Sometimes in my classes, I can see that then I'm giving examples from what has been happening for myself when I was a flight attendant. For example, one day I was teaching fatigue. So I was giving an example of what happened to me when I was feeling fatigue on board the aircraft after like too many hours of flight. And it was interesting that I could see the students were writing the same example in their exam papers. So I could see that it sticks to their mind and actually it develops the quality of education much better. So if I would like to put them this both together, I can say that our university is offering a novel program, and people who are working in our department are experts. And of course, we are trying not only to pursue educational aspect of aviation management, but also we are trying to improve research in this field as well. So we are trying to make a balance between education, I mean teaching, and making research. Specifically because we have a master program in the aviation management, so in that program we are more focused on research.
Excellent. And so what does this program exactly cover?
Actually, in terms of courses, if you're asking, because I can say it in this way, aviation management is very much particular in its own way. You cannot compare it with any other type of courses. For example, if you study any other type of probably social science courses or programs, they have some similarities. But in the aviation industry, it's totally different. We have some courses, for example, we have risk and safety management for aviation industry, which is totally different. Or we have crew resource management, which is just focused about how a crew is going to communicate while on board the aircraft. So we have very specific type of courses that we're actually covering, of course, in our program, which is totally different. For example, introduction to dangerous goods. So dangerous goods to be carried by aircraft is totally different from other types of transportation modes. So we are very specific in these cases, and of course we have some like common courses which is shared with other programs. But on the other hand, we have some very more specific type of courses, as I said, for example, risk and safety management, crisis communication, CRM we have, and airport management, ground operations, principles or introduction to flight, and many courses just like this.
Excellent. And we just had a question from one of our viewers. Is physics a compulsory requirement, knowledge in physics, sorry, before pursuing a career in aviation?
Physics.
Yes.
I guess physics would help those who would like to pursue a career in some engineering type, like if they would like to become an aeronautical engineer, indeed, physics is going to help them. Or become a pilot, professional pilotage program. Again, in
It
terms
would
of
be
aerodynamics, physics is going to help them. But in the aviation management, we are more focused on management part. We are more focused how best we can manage all these dynamics of the industry. So we are not, of course, physics, it means that whoever is very much good in physics, it means that they have a brilliant analytical mind. So they can be good in any major field of study, not only aviation.
definitely. And so you explained a couple of job opportunities there are that's related to aviation management. But for our prospective students, could you just elaborate on that? What some job opportunities that students who study this course will have in the future?
Exactly. There is a wide range of job opportunities. If I would like to talk about our faculty, our students, they can become pilots, they can become aeronautical engineers, and they can become experts in aviation management. But specifically, if I would like to talk about what our students in our department may be in future, there are again still a wide range of jobs available. So the very simple job is probably because I ask my students that what is
Mhm.
your vision to become in future after you're finished. Majority of them would like to start working at the airport. So in any position in the airport, our students, our graduates, they can start working. But airport is not the only place where they can start working. At airlines, because we cover a wide range of airline management courses, so they can start working in airline as in the marketing department, probably HR department, research and development. If they're really into making research, they can start working or secure a job in that area. Being a cabin crew, because we have, I will explain it in more detail if we will talk about different programs in which we have. We are going to have this civil aviation cabin crew program, so they just can become a cabin crew. And of course, there are some hidden jobs in the aviation industry. If I would like to take look at those jobs in terms of um, um, aviation value chain, we have some main activities which I have already said, but we have some supportive activities which are pushing aviation industry. One of those very highly, let's say, beneficial or those industries or let's say sectors that our students can secure a job is aviation catering. So they can secure a job in the catering where it's just very much important, and many airline companies are just outsourcing this type of services to like third party with experts so they can become an expert in this area. I always try to elaborate what type of jobs our students they can take. I explained about the dynamics of catering. It's very, let's say, they can make a good money if they enter into this sector. So aviation catering is another part of career where they can pursue. So this is what they can think of.
So there's actually quite a variety of job
Yes,
opportunities in
yes.
this field,
Despite
which
the fact that they don't have such a vision,
Mhm.
I guess majority of students or families who are sometimes
Yes,
more dominant in choosing a major of study, they don't have such a clear vision of how their children will be able to secure a job in future. There are a variety of jobs that they can
it
possess.
makes it a lot easier, of course. And if you're making the money, who's
Yes,
complaining?
and you know what? I would like to add one more something here
Of course,
that
of course.
the research recently, the research has been showing that um, people who's been working, for example, if I take an example of airports, they have
Hmm.
noticed the research that they started to study and research, make a research in this field. They have started to notice that people who are working at the airports have not been well educated in terms of aviation management before. But nowadays, there's a trend for these businesses to acquire people or to recruit, newcomers who has already been educated in related fields of study. So those people who are graduated from such programs are having a better, let's say, opportunity to secure a job in related industries, including airline companies, airports, some other, let's say, as I told you, supportive industries like catering.
I see. And from your experience in teaching, what qualities do successful students in your course possess? What are your top three expectations from your students at the beginning of the semester of the
Actually, we
education?
have two types of beginning of the semester. We have one, the first semester for the newcomers, who is the
Hmm.
students' first semester, or the beginning of each semester for already students which they had before. For the students who has been, for example, in my case, those who have been my students, I don't see it necessary to repeat what I'm expecting from them. But for the
Yes.
newcomers who would like to really start, there are some issues to consider. First of all, this program is not like many other programs. It's a bit more demanding, so they have to really be passionate about this program. As I say, since I was like 16 or 17, I've been passionate about this industry. So if I was born again and again, I would be an aviator. Okay. So for those people who have such a dream to start aviation, to start studying or working in the aviation industry, they have to be passionate. They first of all, in my opinion, they should love what they do. They should love what they are going to study. Sometimes, and of course, they have some courses, for example, in risk management or crisis communication. We've been going through many cases studies, which aircraft was crashing. So it shouldn't actually make them a bit afraid of, oh my god, what industry we are going to enter. It's not like this. To study and to learn more before they enter, to broaden their view of what is going on or what will be, and to be hardworking. To be hardworking is my another priority which I'm going to expect from my students. Because being a student, it means that hardworking. So I always say, life for a student, especially if you're an undergraduate student, is not easy. So life is difficult because you need to put more effort, but at the end, you're going to gain more. Okay,
Yes.
so in this case, I would say students starting their semester at the beginning of the semester, they should show passion, they should show their hard work, and study more before actually to orient themselves before entering the program so that they can manage their expectations and maybe sometimes excitement. Okay,
So basically,
so
like a passion for the field. And like they say, when you actually want something and love something, you'll get a lot further.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything else? Sorry.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Just your three expectations. So you have finished that?
Yeah, it's finished.
Sorry,
My
it cut
expectation
out a
was,
little bit.
yes, as I said, the expectations will be to show passion, hard
Hmm.
work, and be oriented with the program before they enter.
Okay. And so let me ask you this. Aviation Management Department at the University of Kyrenia. Why should the prospective students choose us? What makes us stand out from the others?
Exactly. So again, I have to look at this issue from different lenses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we are as a department by ourselves, as I told you before, even though we are young, as I said, still we are trying to build up a team of academicians who are experts in the field. So,
Yes.
as I said before, students they can enjoy being in an area where experts are giving not only lecture notes, but also
Mm-hmm.
they're disseminating their own experiences of many years. Okay, so this can be a major, in my opinion, concern for many students to make sure that they're entering in a university, they're studying some courses. Of course, these type of courses that need real example from real world. Okay, and the teacher, he or she, they don't have any idea when they're talking about fatigue, for example. They have never ever experienced such an issue. Okay, so in our university, in our department, it happens. So students they can enjoy being in an area that, and of course, when we have these let's say passionate team who came together to not only share lecture notes but also to share their experiences, it you can expect that it can go over and beyond what we say it's just normal education. We have been managing for variable seminars, or let's say webinars, during these days, and
Yes.
of course we have been inviting different other industry experts to share their experience, to share their knowledge, or to share their to share the upcoming trends in the industry with our students. And I can see that we are receiving a huge engagement from our students in these webinars. So in a department perspective, so these are the reasons why students they should choose us. But if I take a wider look at the location where we are in the north side or something like that, it's just a heaven. It's just a heaven. So we are not only a, let's say, experienced department offering such a very specific program. We are located in a place where they can enjoy the hospitality of these lovely people. I'm in love. I remember when I was a student at EMU, once there was an interview. I don't remember where it was. People they were coming from England. I'm not sure what was the interview about, but there was one question. What is why you would like to study here? I said because I love this Turkish coffee culture. I love this simit culture, and I enjoy sitting in this cafe and drink tea with my friends and share my moments in this beautiful area. I can enjoy beautiful beach which we have here. So it's not only the department that can attract the students, but also if I add it up to what we have in our department, it makes it a brilliant, let's say, choice for students to prepare us rather than the access. Maybe I'm sure that these lovely people in North Cyprus, they facilitate visa issue for our students. In terms of tuition fees, we are more flexible than the other universities. So these are all come together. If actually this is not what I just say, it has been reported in many research studies before. They have been studying what item has been significantly affect students' preferences of a university choice. So these are all those significant factors. We are covering all those significant factors. So why not? This is the best place. We are having a bunch of, let's say, all those facilities and factors all together. So we welcome whoever would like to study aviation management in a wonderful location. Just everybody's welcome.
Well said, Dr. Sanaz. I completely agree. And can we have a little bit more information on our online classes, the exam process for the online classes, etc.?
Okay. Just like any other universities around the globe, due to this outbreak, we have gone online. It's been like 3 months since March. We've been online. We have our own distance education platform. So we're using that platform. We've been online. All the classes are just online weekly, and it's of course in a very distinct planning and supervision of our academic, let's say, supervisory board in our university. I really thank them for their passionate. I'm sure that this is a non-stop attempt and effort they're putting in. I would like to take this chance to say thank you to all of them. And yes, we are going online. We are sharing a live session link to our students. Students are online. Of course, the first few sessions, it was a bit like, oh my God, how can I handle it, both for the teachers and for the students? But still, nowadays, it's just very easy for us. We can find each other easily. We can communicate easily. And it's just like a day-to-day habit of our life now. And in terms of exam, of course, we have this platform very well managed and well designed to accommodate online examination. So we do the examination online, and we are following the criteria of how we are going to assess and evaluate and then mark our students when they have finished their examinations, both the midterms and of course nowadays, because we are not sharing, let's say, our conventional type of classes, students are asked more often to prepare their assignments. So in this way, we are trying to make our classes more interactive, not for students not to be disengaged or detached from the program. So on a weekly basis, we are disseminating assignments and to make sure, and even in my own case, in some courses, I gave my students some sort of more analytical type of questions to make sure that this online program is not going to decrease the understandability of the topics which are covered during the online lectures. So like many other universities, we are online. All the classes and sessions are online. All the exams are online. And we are really nowadays, and students who have some sort of problem, if they have problems with their internet connections or any other devices to connect to internet, they can easily contact university. So we are offering assistance in this case, and students, they can enjoy assistance offered by the university. So their inquiries, comments, and problems are welcomed by university, and of all the universities there to help them.
Yes, and thank you all for doing everything that you can to help our students in this pandemic time. And hopefully it will pass as soon as possible. And
Hopefully.
so when we look at the near and distant future, is there anything like any new developments that our current students and prospective students can expect?
In our department, of course, as I said, we are currently we are a type of, let's say, we are a young department or faculty. It's not like 10 years or 15 years of operation. So we're quite new. Even though we are new, we have been having very great success. For example, in the island, we are the only department or let's say university who is offering Master of Science in Aviation Management. To best of my knowledge, no other university is offering this program. So we are a step way ahead of other universities. And in terms of quality of education offered, stay still, I can guess that we are doing a bit better than the other universities. And of course, we are going to offer more programs in terms of 2-year programs, higher school programs. Probably let's not go into the detail because still they are not open. But as a prospect, I can say that we are working on it. We are trying to develop those programs, which is totally different from similar programs offered by the other universities. We are putting our own insight, let's say expertise and insight into development of those programs. So I strongly believe that students who are going to apply for those 2-year programs in the future, they are going to earn a lot of beneficial knowledge about those programs. So they are more practical. Just in a flash, in 2 years, students will be able to secure a job because they are going to be equipped with necessary skills they need to enter the industry. Because when we are talking about 4-year program and again master program, we are approaching or we are trying to prepare our students both in terms of skills and knowledge. In the 2-year program, higher school, we are more focused on skills. In the 4-year undergraduate program, both the skills and knowledge. And while we are offering our master program, as I said before, we are more focused on developing our students' research skills. So because master program is a bridge between undergraduate and PhD. So if you would like to secure a good PhD program in future, you should show a good knowledge of research methods and a good, let's say, record of previous publications. So in the master program, you're focused on research, and of course, we have selected very specific courses to be added in the master program to make sure that students are well knowledge in those areas, plus how they can develop their research skills.
Okay, and so it just came to mind. While we're on the subject of masters, what are the advantages of studying postgraduate in this field? Like, what other job opportunities will studying postgraduate be available?
If I would like to say like this, master program generally, as I
Mm-hmm.
said, it connects your undergraduate program to your PhD. So if you would like to secure a PhD program in the future, it is more wise to start studying a master. Okay, but I know in many countries to have a master program is a advantage for employees who are already employed in the industry to get like some sort of promotions, or for other newcomers to have, or let's say to outcompete their competitors in the job market to secure a new job as a newcomer. Okay, so that's why I say in the master program, we are not only focused on research methods or research focused, but also we have chosen some specific courses to be added into the program so that the students have the necessary knowledge needed to enter the industry. And however, master program is generally like any other program. They are the open door to PhD. So in this case, students who would like to continue studying PhD and become an aviation lecturer, then it's the best idea to start mastering aviation. We are lucky we have students who are doing their second masters in our university because they believe that studying in related fields like aviation, as I said before, because it looks like a blue ocean, it's not red ocean, bloody red ocean like some other types of, let's say, major fields of study. It's a quite bit new and not too much experts are in the field. People are either academicians or experts. So to have expert academicians can rarely be found, but we have such an environment in our department. So students they can be hopeful that if they finish their master and they pursue or they start studying a PhD in more related fields, for example, PhD in the aviation, it's more probable for them in the future to secure an academic job.
Yes,
So it is highly recommended to students who would like to be academicians in the future to start studying. I highly recommend students to study such a field of study because not only my own personal passion for this industry or possible industry positions they may secure in the future, but also because they have more job opportunities in the academia.
Okay, and what should the prospective students prepare themselves for during their undergraduate and graduate education in the field of aviation management?
I'm sorry, I didn't notice the question. Would you repeat it, please?
That's okay. Of course. What should prospective students prepare themselves for during their undergraduate and postgraduate studies in this department?
They should
Like, what
prepare.
could they expect?
They can expect, their expectation would be this high quality of education we are offering them, and they will help them each semester. For example, we have this seminar of job opportunities in the future. We are elaborating or we are enlightening their future. What can they, for example, what type of job they can possess in the future? What are the dynamics of those jobs? And I always, for example, I myself push my students to study more about the related field of study because, as I said before in the initial part of the interview, that we are covering wide range of courses in our program. So each of them, we have industry experts in each of them. For example, CRM, or for example, risk management, safety management system, which is a hot topic in the aviation industry, or dangerous goods, actually the knowledge of dangerous goods. So if you take a look at the industry, you can see that they have their huge sophisticated departments in the aviation industry. So I push my students, I say, look, this is the course, this is the dynamics of the job in this position. So if you would like to continue, just read more, study more, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us for more details or for more insights into what is going on or what you are expecting to go on, okay? So these prospect students, they can expect to have a high quality education as well as enlightened vision for their job in the future. And for our master program students, they are not only actually will be knowledge about the industry, but also they will be equipped with their research skills.
And could you elaborate a little bit more on how can I say, it's like what are some difficulties they may experience or some unforgettable, amazing experiences, things like that?
Actually, it depends on students. You know, it's a kind of, let's say, more attitudinal or perceptual type of topic that you're asking. Maybe I can share some ideas of my students in this
That
case,
would be excellent.
because I have this close connection with students and they share their ideas, and the majority of them, they just enjoy their program, they like their program. Of course, as I said, we are trying to be more practical, like many other major fields of study. For example, field trips, they are just memorable. We are working on these field trips to make it more a part of, let's say, very bold memory of the whole experience, studentship experience. And of course, being whatever the topic that we talked, there are some advantages and disadvantages, or positive points and negative points. In terms of negative points, um, maybe sometimes students are frustrated for being very much far from their home families, even though we are trying to pull them together via different clubs that we are offering in our university. I can see students are enjoying being a member of those clubs. For example, in our specific example, our university, yeah, no, the whole university I'm talking. We are targeting African students, so they are very far from their homelands, and I can see that they are really missing their homelands, their families. So they have a very dynamic African club, and people, they are coming together, and the university is facilitating this gathering a union, so these students, they can come together and they can enjoy and share their of course some sort of, let's say, common features, cultural features. So this is the same case in any other different, for example, we have like dance clubs in our university, we have in our specific case, we have our aviation club. So we're trying to make a network or a social area, social network for these students to come together and share their ideas and make it a memorable part of their journey being a student in our university.
Yes, that's excellent. And so you shared with us a little bit earlier that you shared some experiences with your students from your student life and when you were a flight attendant and so on. Do you have any anecdotes you'd like to share with us about your student years?
About my student years, actually, students, whole my student life, I've been a hardworking student, so I only have memories of how I was studying.
Okay,
I
well,
don't have, I don't have that much exciting, probably because my student life was not that much. Of course, for me, it was exciting because I was passionate with studying, um, but I don't really have a
okay,
very
maybe
brilliant.
about flight attending days? About your
Sorry,
flight attendant days?
of course, being a flight
Yeah,
attendant, I have too many.
I can imagine.
I have too many, but I will give you a very. Do you want me to talk about that fatigue issue? It's a kind of embarrassing. No, let's talk about another thing of fatigue. I mean, experiencing fatigue is not something that you say out loud. So,
Yeah.
I was here one day, which was actually when I was working as a flight attendant. I used to fly both domestic. I mean, I started with domestic flights, and then we started to have like international flights. So it was once on a flight from Bangkok, Thailand, to Tehran.
Wow.
So it usually takes like 7 or 8 hours of flight if it is winter time. So of course it was a winter time, and you, if you may know that winter is the best time that you can go and travel to Thailand because it's the best weather there. So,
Yes.
and usually I remember I was flying a Boeing 747 aircraft. It's a giant aircraft, and we used to carry almost 400 passengers on board. So imagine it was a crowded flight. We were all tired because when we were we were going to Thailand. We were not sleeping. We prefer to get out, sightseeing, shopping. Of course, shopping is a major type of major aspect of being a flight attendant. Okay, so we were enjoying our time. Of course, we were also tired. So it was that sample case of that flight back from Bangkok to Tehran. We were almost in the middle of the flight. Suddenly we noticed that, and you may know that in the aircraft, when the flight attendants are entering to the aircraft, they have been positioned to the aircraft. Each of those flight attendants, for example, each of us, actually the aircraft has been sectioned. Each cabin has different positions for the flight attendants who are sitting on their jump seats. You may have seen this, but this all has been planned and arranged before the flight crew or cabin crew, let's say, are entering the aircraft. So we have all been positioned and we've been working in our own area of working. All of us, suddenly I could see that there was a guy, probably he was drunk. He was rushing and running from the back of the aircraft. It took like few minutes because the aircraft is very, very big. And he was shouting and running from the back of the aircraft to the main door, which is the second door on the left. Okay, so actually, when you see it like this, it is right door, but sometimes the passengers, they believe that it's the left door. Anyway, the passenger, he was running and at the same time shouting, and I could see that guy. He was running from the opposite aisle. He was not coming through the aisle where I was, but I could see him. And he ran and ran to the front door. And again, I should explain this issue again, that each aircraft has its own features of, let's say, door, how you are going to open and close the door. So for Boeing 747 aircraft, there is a huge handle which is horizontal when the door is closed, and you have to push up the handle so that you can open the door. So that guy, he sat down on the ground, let's say, aircraft, and he put his shoulder under the handle, and he was trying to open the door. We were like 30,000 feet above sea level, and we were just flying. We were in the middle of nowhere. And he thought that he can open the door if he pushes the handle, but due to the pressurization of the aircraft, they cannot open the door. For a few seconds, we were like, oh my God, what is this stupid guy is doing? And we were so lucky that, and of course, it was in front of the galley where another flight attendant was working. We were lucky that that flight attendant, he was actually his parents, both mother and father, was working for military. So he had some military, let's say, training. Yes, training and experience. And of course, they have some safety guards on board the aircraft. So that guy, they came together and they knocked him out, and they just crossed his hand like this. I don't know, even his hand chain, something like that. So he was arrested somehow on board the aircraft, and he was just sent to the nose of the aircraft, and he didn't have any permission to move, to eat, to drink anything. And immediately when the aircraft was landed in Tehran, he was arrested. I mean, the police officer, they came, they were standing there in the jetway waiting for him to arrest him. So for the whole flight, after he was doing this, nobody was talking. Nobody was asking for anything. Everybody was like, they were like this. And I was like,
that just happened.
Asking for anything, like drinks, because it's a long flight, and Iranian passengers are very much demanding. They are really demanding. I cannot tell you how. So the whole flight, we were in such a relief. Of course, I'm joking about being a relief, but it was really stressful. And it happened some other times that we had these aggressive passengers on board the aircraft. Yeah, so this was a very sample
Of what you may
day
experience.
sample day of a, let's say, flight attendant life on board the aircraft. Everything
Well,
can happen, and I was among
exactly.
those lucky people who survived the industry.
Well, thank you for sharing that, and I can't imagine what experience that must have been. So that is all we do have time for today. Okay, thank you all for joining me and Dr. Sanaz today. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can email us at info@kyrenia.edu.tr or message us on our Instagram platform or here on our Facebook platform. And please join me next time when I'll be accompanied by the Dean of our Economics and Administrative Sciences Faculty, Professor Dr. Mehmet Altanay, on Friday, the 29th of May at 11 a.m. EEST. And until then, take care, stay safe, and goodbye.